Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you. If you haven't seen it, please check out the weekly general overview. We are in between eclipses and this week is going to be an intense one for sure. So with that said, your destiny card for the week ahead is the Tower card. Leo had this as well. And I find that really interesting as well because it's the second fixed sign that's had the Tower. There is going to be a moment, my dear Scorpios, that really pushes you to the brink. The Fool card represents Mars and it also represents Uranus, right? It has that shocking, spiky, fiery energy about it. And very often it brings us a realization. The unfortunate thing about the Tower card is this realization usually always comes through fractious means. It does suggest that there is going to be something here this week that really presses your buttons or really triggers you in some way, shape or form. And the beauty of the Tower card is it reduces something in your life that you thought was stable to rubble. It brings it coming crashing down. And ultimately, once the rubble settles and the dust clears away, you feel so much more liberated for it. It's just the event itself is usually either painful or usually very uncomfortable, right? We all go through the Tower moment. Every single one of us. It doesn't matter what your sign, what your astrology, what your numerology, it's irrelevant. We all go through the Tower moment at least 4 times throughout our lifescape, right? And it looks like this week in particular is going to push your buttons or it's going to challenge you to challenge yourself. It does look like you are coming up against it in some way, shape or form this week. So let's have a look at the context. What is the direction of this? And this week, your direction card, yeah, that feels good, is the 5 of Pentacles, right? So where is it that you're coming from a lack mindset? It could be this week that you're faced with a bill. It could be this week that you see something that you really want and desire and you think, oh, I want that. And then you check the funds and it's not there. You don't have the means or the money to make that happen. Or like I said, it could be a bill or a debt that comes back to you and you're like, oh shit, you know what? If I pay that, I can pay it off, but it's going to leave me really short. That will reveal to you where there is a gap in your finances. There's obviously something going on. It's partially the area that I live in, but I'm like, okay. Yeah, it could see you, being really triggered because you want something or you desire something and you just don't have the funds for it. Are you going to go into a complete tizzy and throw your, spit your dummy out the pram and all the rest of it and say, oh, my life's shit, I can't even buy this, well, do you really need it? Is there something going to be revealed to you about your wants and desires this week, about how you utilize your desire energy? It could also reveal to you this week where there is a shortfall in your finances, where it is that you're maybe not being as sensible as you can. Like I said, it will probably be a fractious moment. The other extreme of this, and I speak to a very select few, it could be this week that you see somebody else being financially taken advantage of, and it will really, Scorpios don't like to see other people hurt in any way anyway. All of the water signs have a very protective nature about them, but especially Scorpio and Cancer more than anybody else. So if you see that, my advice to you, just like it was to Leos, is choose to respond rather than instinctually reacting, right? When you respond to something, that's a choice. When you react, it's knee-jerk. It's just kind of like, it's coming from a place within you that is pre-programmed, so to speak. So really be conscious of that this week. But your own finances look like they're really highlighting something to you this week. So your insight card, what's going on behind the scenes? What's the extra tidbit this week? And this week you get the Page of Swords. So yeah, I have to say, for a lot of you, it does look like a bill or a debt of some sort. And for the moment, for this week possibly, it might reset your finances. So you're like, oh, holy crap, you know, I've only got this much to last me now until the end of the month. It could be something that highlights in that way. For a lot of you, this will be a bill, it will be a debt, it will be a letter of some kind that comes in. It might be an expense that you didn't expect, or it could be an expense that that you'd forgotten about, right? And you're just kind of like, oh shit, and it will throw you into a tizzy. But it does suggest, with the Page of Swords, you have the brain power to deal with it, providing you don't do the whole thing, right? So don't do that. And then finally, the Page of Swords does see you speak in words of defense in somebody else's favor. So, you know, it might not necessarily be that you see somebody being financially taken advantage of, but you possibly will have a situation this week where you really feel to stand up about something and you won't be backing down. I mean, woe betide anybody that is stupid enough to clash a Scorpio, especially when they're at full force. Aries and Scorpio, oof, you do not want to see that. So with that said, if it's not too personal, please let me know in the comments how it shapes up. If it is too personal and you don't want to share it, please feel free to drop me an email. So many people do, and like I said, I'm always available for that. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.